Dr. Philippe Auby. He is a psychiatrist, and he has a long history and career in pharmaceutical industry. This is a very good opportunity for me to talk about his career history and also his perspective in terms of the challenges in pharmaceutical business in Europe. First of all, thank you very much for accepting this interview, Dr. Auby. My first question is, could you please introduce yourself?
Thank you very much for the invitation. It's a very nice opportunity to be explaining and discussing what I did. So I'm Philippe Auby. I'm a double board certified adult psychiatrist and child and adolescent psychiatrist, and I was a pure clinician. In fact, I even worked in refugee camps in Thailand doing psychiatry years back, last century actually. And then completely by accident I moved to the industry, and I spent more than 25 years in the industry. And now I changed and I'm working as an independent advisor, mainly to the industry, but not necessarily only to the pharma industry.
Thank you very much. I think you have a lot of experience working not only in Europe, but also in US and also globally. But I would like to focus pharmaceutical industry in Europe.
Yes.
What is your view in terms of the big challenges in pharmaceutical business in Europe?
Well, I think that one of the interesting challenges, and if we are discussing with people who are young physicians who are going to be working as a physician, is probably in Europe there is less of interest for physicians to do clinical development. And this is not just something that you can say it's an intellectual construct. It's also something that you can see with regard to the number of trials and the number of patients. Of course, with a different variation. For instance, oncology is still a very active domain in Europe, but in other parts of the development, in fact, you can see that the importance of Europe in terms of contribution has moved down. So that, I think, is the first point, because I still believe that the physician should trigger also, and they could be responsible of developing and promoting clinical research. The second point is probably the complexity of Europe, because even if you have a regulatory body that is the European Medical Agency, then the access to the different European markets is not that simple, it's not that easy, and you can see that there are different assessments from different countries. And that seems weird, but when we had the COVID crisis, people discovered that health is not necessarily one of the key competencies of the European Union. That is normally the member states doing. So this is really the reason why once a drug is approved by the European Medical Agency, each country can decide what will be the reimbursement, potentially what will be the size of the patient population. So I think that this is the second point. The other point is because Europe is not a federation like the US, for instance, you have very different prices from one country to another country, and that means that you can have parallel import coming from a country where the prices are very low for a drug to a country where the prices are very high. So that creates some kind of distortions, and this is really something that you need to take into account. And I would say that for me, that would be the three key factors. There are maybe others, but I would think that they are the three core factors that explain why it's sometimes difficult to do to market a drug in Europe.
Yeah, thank you very much. Because for Japanese people, we think that it is very similar to the US market, but it's very different.
Exactly.
Because you have many countries in Europe, and they have different regulations,
Exactly.
and also pricing policies in each country. Thank you very much. My next question is, what is your advice to the young physicians who has the ambition to work in pharmaceutical industry to contribute to the patient through drug development or medical affairs activities or pharmacovigilance activities?
Yes. Well, I think that the key point is that people should dare. They should try. If they don't like it, as a physician, there is no risk. You can always go back to see your patients. And I think it's very important. You don't take a risk. You don't abandon patients by going to the industry. You maybe do something to help patients in a different way. So dare, trying. If it's your dream, go ahead. If it's not your dream, it was not my dream. It was an accident. But I thought it was an interesting accident, and I decided to follow it, and I don't regret having done that. So I think that is really important. And I've been doing a lot of different activities. So as I said, I was a clinician. Then I moved to the industry doing drug development in a different capacity. I ended being the VP of the Paediatric development of a Danish company. Then I was the CEO of a Japanese company, in fact in Europe, for the R&D organization. So I never thought about this. So you not only you need to dare doing things, but you need to also accept that there could be surprise, and you follow what you believe is right. And there is not just a path. There is not just a path of management. There is also a path of being a specific expert. So you have really a lot of opportunities. So it's really an interesting aspect of being a physician in the pharma industry. The other thing which I believe, but that's also probably more personal, is what I really enjoy was the opportunity to be working globally. And I think that you need to be interested in other culture, and you need to think that the world is not just the village where you live, because even if the city is big, it's still a village compared to the size of the world. So if you size the world, that can be really, really fun. So try to have fun, dare going. If you don't like that, it's not a dead end. You go back to what you like.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, it's very impressive what you discussed, and I had a very good history to work together with you.
It was a great pleasure.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, and also thank you very much for your time today to meet with me and to have an interview in Frankfurt. It's a great pleasure for me.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.